Diddy was running some kind of Epstein type deal where he was filming everybody. Genuinely love it when someone like Diddy gets caught, though. I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
I was never at Diddy's party. I don't even know the motherfucker.
We're out
I
here
don't want to know nobody.
telling jokes.
Nobody.
If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. You gotta keep them there. You need locks on the doors. You need a lot of heat. You don't have no air conditioning. Heat affects the alcohol. Everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat. You need some good music, and you need me, of course.
Yes.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
A recent comment from Joe Rogan has reignited a debate that many people online say never really went away. As headlines around the ongoing Diddy investigation continue to dominate social media, some viewers are starting to notice something they find strange. Certain names keep coming up inside conversations, yet rarely make it into the main discussion. One of those names is Ellen DeGeneres. As the internet does best, people began revisiting old interviews and moments that once seemed harmless. Clips that were laughed off years ago are now being rewatched with a completely different mindset. That's where Ellen's past interactions with Diddy suddenly caught renewed attention. Old appearances on her talk show resurfaced, showing relaxed banter, playful jokes, and casual mentions of parties that, at the time, felt like nothing more than celebrity small talk. But with today's context, some viewers say those moments now feel uncomfortable in hindsight. What once played as light entertainment is now being analyzed frame by frame. People aren't claiming secret meanings, but they are questioning whether certain jokes should have ever been brushed off so easily.
All right, we're back with Sean Diddy Combs. Is it Diddy today? Because sometimes you're Puffy and sometimes you're Diddy. Or sometimes you're Daddy. What are you today?
I'm so confused today with it, as long as you say it in a nice way.
All right.
Just all right.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's commentary added fuel to the conversation. He pointed out that many celebrities openly joked about Diddy's party lifestyle on major platforms for years, including daytime television. These weren't whispered stories or private rumors. They were said on camera, laughed about, and quickly forgotten. Rogan suggested that when stories like that are shared publicly and repeatedly, it's natural for audiences to revisit them when serious allegations surface later. According to him, it's less about blame and more about why certain conversations suddenly stop once the tone shifts from jokes to accountability. To understand why Ellen's name keeps resurfacing in these conversations, it's important to look back at the workplace allegations surrounding her show. When former employees spoke out, the stories painted a very different picture from the program's "Be Kind" message. Claims of intimidation, racial insensitivity, and a tense work environment quickly spread, and the contrast shocked viewers. The fallout was serious. Several senior producers were let go, and Ellen eventually addressed the situation publicly. Even then, the damage lingered. The public debate shifted to a larger question. Were the issues caused by a few individuals, or were they part of a broader culture on the show? Ellen stated that she wasn't aware of everything happening behind the scenes, a response that split opinion sharply. Some people accepted it, others remained skeptical.
As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show, and then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show.
The show continued for a short time after the controversy, but when Ellen eventually ended it, she said it was simply because the format no longer challenged her. A lot of fans didn't accept that explanation. To them, the trust had already been broken, and no matter how hard she tried to move forward, it never fully came back. That's where Joe Rogan's take enters the picture, and it immediately turned heads. While talking about Diddy on his podcast, Rogan highlighted something many people had overlooked for years. He pointed out how celebrities openly joked about Diddy's infamous parties as if they were a badge of honor. Back then, everyone laughed it off. But now, with everything coming to light, those same jokes don't feel harmless at all.
There was always so much East Coast, West Coast shit that's still, like, in the zeitgeist. you know, like with Biggie and Tupac, and they were all hating at each other, and they both got killed, and there was a lot going on. And then there's people that thought that Puffy was involved and Suge Knight was involved.
Rogan didn't sugarcoat it. He straight up named people like Ashton Kutcher and others who openly bragged about Diddy's wild parties, treating them like some kind of elite status symbol. Then he pointed out something most people seem to overlook. A lot of those party stories weren't whispered behind closed doors. They were joked about publicly on one of the biggest stages in daytime TV, Ellen's show. Rogan's point was simple but uncomfortable. How did so many A-listers spend years in those circles, laugh about the parties on national television, brush it off as fun, and now claim they never noticed anything off? Especially when the allegations against Diddy paint a very different picture. That contrast is exactly why Rogan's comments hit so hard. These weren't rumors passed quietly. They were said out loud in front of millions, and everyone just moved on. One clip in particular from Ellen's 2018 interview with Diddy keeps resurfacing. In it, Diddy invites Ellen to his parties and jokes about her never showing up. He mentions they start early, but hints that the real action happens later, after midnight on the top floors. Ellen laughs and reacts like she already knows what he means. That brief exchange is what viewers can't stop replaying. The way she responds makes it feel like an inside joke, one only a small group was in on. And that's the detail people just can't shake.
What time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really, that early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
It'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
Yeah, I know about those. That single line is exactly why this moment matters so much, and why Joe Rogan finds it strange that Ellen's name keeps getting skipped in the bigger conversation. For one thing, Diddy didn't just appear on her show once. He was invited back multiple times. And the party jokes weren't random throwaway lines. They kept coming up again and again. Every appearance followed the same pattern, and no one ever really pressed him on it. Then the internet did what it always does and started digging deeper. Old footage resurfaced, including a 2002 interview Diddy did with Conan O'Brien where he joked about needing locks on the doors at his parties. Back then, it played like shock humor, something meant to get a laugh and move on. But watching it now, it doesn't land the same way. It feels eerie, almost like a clue people ignored for years. Fair or not, that clip alone has reignited the conversation in a big way. As those moments made the rounds again, the focus shifted fast. The question became, what did Ellen actually know, if anything? And why has she stayed completely silent? People didn't stop there. A 2016 tweet resurfaced where Ellen jokingly gave Diddy a nickname, Cuddle Snuggle Stuff. And suddenly that post was everywhere again. Then came the clips of Ellen being approached with questions about Diddy, only for her to dodge them entirely. Some viewers pointed to her body language, saying she looked tense or uncomfortable. Others argued that anyone would react the same way if caught off guard by paparazzi. Either way, it only added fuel to the fire. The silence, the awkward deflections, and the timing of it all made the situation look even more suspicious in the public's eyes. Rogan kept his message direct and cutting. If you were close enough to someone like Diddy to bring him on your show repeatedly, joke openly about his party lifestyle on national TV, and react like you understood exactly what those late-night comments meant, then people are naturally going to expect you to say something once the situation turns serious. This isn't about pointing fingers, it's about accountability. When the spotlight shifts and those jokes start sounding more like confessions, staying quiet only makes things look worse. Rogan's point was simple. Once you've been part of the conversation, especially on camera, you can't suddenly pretend you were never in the room when the truth starts coming out.
First of all, you can make someone famous overnight just by sampling their sound. So I could get you a copy of that, and then you could just see what you want to do with it. Maybe that slides in someplace real nice, you know what I mean? Okay, let me ask you for some advice here, because clearly I need some.
Huh, what was that?
I'm the human beatbox!
Where are you going after this? It's all 20s. Where are you going after this? What are you doing?
You know what we doing, what we plan to do, girl.
The silence from Ellen, along with several other high-profile names, is exactly what Rogan says makes this entire situation feel off. From a public perception standpoint, it's strange to watch people who were once deeply involved suddenly go completely quiet. But there's another layer here that makes things even more complicated. Remember Ellen's workplace controversy? That chapter may help explain why her name keeps getting pulled into this conversation. Former employees from the Ellen DeGeneres show described an environment where fear was common and speaking up felt risky. Online, many commenters started drawing parallels, pointing out how that same mix of power, pressure, and silence mirrors what people believe happens inside other elite celebrity circles, especially when reputation and influence are on the line.
So Ellen, so what do you think? Rihanna went back to Chris?
Ellen,
is that a good or bad move?
It's a bad move.
Okay.
It's a bad move.
Any advice you want to give to her?
Not really.
All right then.
None of this suggests that Ellen committed any crimes, but it does help explain why her name keeps resurfacing in these conversations, even years later. Alongside that, there are long circulating stories people often bring up in the same breath. Things like claims from former crew members that the set felt tense whenever Ellen was around, or allegations that certain guests were quietly kept off the show due to personal conflicts. Whether every detail is accurate or not, critics say the pattern looks familiar. Control, pressure, and silence. And once the public starts noticing a pattern like that, they stop taking moments at face value. Old clips get replayed. Jokes get reinterpreted. Smiles that once felt harmless suddenly look different. One moment fans frequently point to happened back in 2009, when Chris Brown was accused of assaulting Rihanna. At the time, Ellen directly confronted Diddy on her show about allowing Chris to stay at his home afterward. She spoke firmly, saying she didn't want any woman to believe it was okay to return to someone who had hurt her. Back then, it was seen as a strong moral stance. But viewed through today's lens, that same moment raises new questions. People now wonder how someone who spoke so passionately about accountability then could remain completely silent now, especially when similar questions are circling the very people she once defended and joked alongside on national television.
Leads me to the perfect thing, because I would like you to clear something up. There's a lot of talk going on with Chris Brown being at your place in Miami, and you arranging Chris and Rihanna getting back together. Now, you want to talk about that?
See, I wouldn't use my Twitter to talk about that because that's somebody else's business.
I know, but you gave them your house.
Yeah. But we're talking about Twitter.
Yeah.
How you use Twitter, and that's something else. I'm just saying I wouldn't really Twitter about that.
Okay, let's not Twitter about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Can we dance?
Yes.
I would like to dance.
Dance. Do it.
What grabbed attention during Ellen's Netflix special wasn't just her jokes. It was the tone she used. She spoke about ego, exposure, and how hate always seems louder than love, and that message landed differently for many viewers. She explained that in the entertainment business, people either idolize you or despise you, and the negativity often feels louder. Yet instead of being taken as reflection or accountability, many interpreted it as deflection, as if Ellen was still processing backlash rather than fully owning her mistakes. That emotional distance reignited public debate, keeping her name in the conversation. Things escalated further when NFL star Aaron Rodgers appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast and made a shocking comparison, suggesting Ellen's old talk show set resembled Epstein Island's architecture. Rogan quickly dismissed it as a coincidence, but the fact it was even mentioned highlights the fragile state of her reputation. Fans began weaving her name into wild conspiracy maps alongside some of pop culture's darkest figures. Not because of proof, but because the internet thrives on dramatic, cinematic narratives. By this point, the truth almost seemed secondary to the storyline, with every theory, clip, and resurfaced rumor adding another layer to a web fans couldn't stop spinning. The real question, observers say, is not the gossip itself, but the pattern behind it and what it reveals about public perception.
Boy, oh boy, Ellen, I love you. I know you didn't ask where I've just come from, but I just got off a plane. I'm on tour. I just did 5 nights in a row. And I just made it here, and I love you.
I love you too.
Fans started piecing together old toxic workplace headlines, Ellen's half-hearted apology, her move overseas, and now the Diddy scandal. The narrative grew. Ellen never faced real consequences, and many feel she's treated differently socially, benefiting from her fame, money, and Hollywood connections. Rogan challenges that silence, asking why some untouchables escape scrutiny while others don't. The Diddy case has prompted a rewind. Old interviews and jokes are now seen as clues. Ellen, meanwhile, is likely to stay private unless real evidence emerges. Diddy's legal battle is far from over, with raids, lawsuits, and ongoing investigations keeping names in the headlines. Silence, influence, and reputation shape how Hollywood scandals play out. Even years after her show ended, Ellen's name resurfaces whenever new controversies hit. Joe Rogan keeps stirring the pot, questioning power dynamics and who really gets protected. As 2025 closes, the public is asking, who's still safe and who's next? What do you think? Is Ellen unfairly dragged into this? Or are people right to question Hollywood's selective accountability? Comment your thoughts.